Welcome to Art History 1101, Art Appreciation. I'm Penelope Young. I'll be your instructor online for this course. We are 1101-55. Every course is a little bit different that you take online. This is new for me, so it'll be kind of exciting. You're going to learn a lot about the world of art. And you're going to be able to analyze and interpret works of art. That's one of our goals here, our student outcomes. What that really means is you'll be able to write and to talk about works of art, and we will have discussions, and we will have some essays, things that you will submit online for our course, and it'll help you to break down the elements and principles of art, the parts of the color and line, and so on, and also the concepts behind making some of the artwork, the historical context, and so on. So there's a lot of information here. You're also going to use art terminology effectively. You're going to identify key works of art. And we have not just a chronological, meaning time, but we also have geographic, all over the world. We have pieces that we're going to study. This is our image here. This is a piece that I'm going to work on in my ceramics class I'm teaching this summer. But this is the Antwerp Port House from Zaha Hadid. She's passed away, but she was a female architect out of London that was really amazing and really pushing some boundaries. So you have this ultra contemporary postmodern piece here on top of a traditional building. So I think that's a really interesting thing to think about. How do we extend or make new buildings versus the way we made old buildings? So that was interesting to me, so that's why that's there. Okay, so we're going to go to the syllabus and start here in these videos. So over here, we're going to go, let's go to syllabus. So the syllabus is here, and this is Monday morning on June 3rd, and I still have to do a little bit of moving around with the schedule. I changed my mind again, but anyway, it'll all be sorted out by the time you get to it. So this is me. We're online. I have office hours from Monday through Thursday, no Friday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. After that, I'll answer your email likely the next day. 48 hour maximum down here, and I'll tell you that. So the CRN is right here. We are summer of 2019, 3 credit hours. That's my email, and that's what you'll use to communicate with me. There's a voicemail here. You're welcome to do that as well. It will give me an email with what you said, but you know how those transcriptions are kind of odd sometimes. But anyway, I will call you back usually within the next day. Anything urgent, really try to call Blackboard or McGraw-Hill first, especially if it's technical, because I really will not support any of the computer or technical issues that are in the course. Okay, so down here we have a course description. We talked about this a little bit so far. This is our book. It should look like that. And if you click on these links here, you will get to the 11th edition. We also have the textbook embedded in the course, and I'll show that to you in a moment. Let's not skip around too much. Also, our first due date is going to be Monday the 10th, a week from today, which is kind of nice. And the materials that you'll need moving forward are for the Matisse cutouts and Mutu collage. You really also need a camera, which I think most of us have on our phones, but you will have to photograph your work and upload it. And so if you don't know how to do that, you're going to need to spend some extra time working that out, figuring that out on Blackboard. I'll give you some information, but for the most part, you're on your own. So we talked about these: critically analyze, interpret works of art. Course requirements and attendance. So you're going to write a gallery report or museum report. The Albuquerque Museum right now has a great exhibition on photography, and it includes printmaking a little bit as well. And then you're going to cite some scholarly research. Everything pretty much in here is research-based. There are occasions where you have your opinion or your viewpoint, but most things are research-based, meaning use our book and use some of the links that are in the Blackboard shell. You'll see that as you move through. So you're going to engage in interactive class discussions, compare and contrast varied works of art. And you've got to acquaint yourself with online learning on your own. I don't cover this at all. Most students are 100% or even beyond my capabilities in working on online, but some students are new to it. There are support, like I said, there is support for you, distance learning through CM. So let's hit this. So student resources for online learning. So this is all distance learning. This is that Jumpstart Your Course right here. So you guys have ways to access other information, other support. Be prepared to do that because, for one thing, we're online. Not everything works perfectly all the time, and some things don't make sense. If it is up to me, if it is an issue that I should have done, or if I didn't do the due date correctly, or something's not showing right, or the YouTube didn't load, then that's 2 points for me, for you rather, for pointing that out, okay, for each thing that is incorrect, or typos as well. But if it's something where you're like, I don't understand what my computer's doing, there's so many computers at this point that I can't say what your settings are doing and so on. There are a list of settings, and we'll look at that in a moment, but you need to pursue that on your own, and you'll get a case number. So if there is something wrong that either CNM, sometimes the whole website goes down or the whole school site goes down, CNM or Blackboard or me, then you'll get an extension, but you need a case number, absolutely. If it isn't, if you just didn't figure it out, that's on you, okay? So that comes up a fair amount, so I'm just going to say that now. Attendance policy. So you need to make sure you submit every week. If you miss a week of submitting work and you don't email me and say, hey, I had this going on or what have you, then I'm going to assume that you're gone, okay? And I'm going to just drop you. I spend most of my emails going back and forth with the technical issues and with I was out of town or all this other stuff. But I'm really trying to be as cut and dry on that as much as possible. Please email me with any questions about art or the assignments, but anything to do with the technical stuff, I probably will just tell you to go back and call Blackboard, and then I'll assess your absence. It has to be an emergency or something, out of your control, not a flat tire, okay? That does not count. So make sure you're submitting work all the time. You have a big chunk of time, 24 hours a day, you're able to access the course. So be sure you're doing that, okay? So down here is work ethic, and I get into this a lot where there's always 3 or 4 students in a 30-student class. We're 31 people that say something like, well, I got busy, this happened, this happened, this happened. I'm on a sports team, or I'm going to lose my financial aid. And I got into one in spring 2019. I got into a big back and forth with a student about losing their financial aid. That's really your responsibility, okay? It's not mine. So if you're getting a D or you're failing and you need a B or a C for your team or for your financial aid, then I'm going to be really strict about it. I'll round up 5 points, meaning that if you are at 695, which is a D, I will round that to a C, 5 points only. And that's if you're doing all the work, okay? But that's it, all right? So just keep that in mind. I'm really strict. I'm not going to be an easy A. I'm not going to be an easy grade. So if that's upsetting to you or you want to try another class, please do that as soon as possible. Academic dishonesty, I really do report plagiarism. Please look that over. And there's a lot more information on that. I'm going to stop here.